Hello, my name's Alan. We're going to go on a short trip to Silicon Valley. Now, there is somewhat of a tradition that tech companies start in garages, bedrooms, dorm rooms, and today's short trip does link to a story very much like that. So, we are going on a special secret trip, and I say that because very few people know that this place that we're going to go to even exists, even though the company are a worldwide tech brand. So we're going to be heading to the residence of Susan Wojcicki in a place called Menlo Park. That's a small city in Silicon Valley, California. A little bit more about Susan later on. But I think maybe I should show you a map of where we're going and then you can see where our adventure will begin. So I mentioned we're heading to California, and the area we need to be heading to San Francisco, and it's actually southeast. So there's all these bridges across the bay, and the area we're heading to, Menlo Park, it's just next to Palo Alto, and it's round about here. Have you noticed how green it looks? So it's a largely suburban area where lots of people live. Now I've got 5 questions that I want you to try to solve, or problems. The first one, question number 1, there's a tech company I've mentioned. It's a very, very famous company, except I've not said the name of it yet. So today's trip relates to this company. So I want you could start guessing. If you don't already know, you could write that down now. More will be revealed. Question number 2. So it's a residential location that we're going to. So it could be somebody's house. But I'm asking, why is this important in terms of technology and computing? Question number 3. So I mentioned Susan before, Susan Wojcicki. Well, she has 2 friends. She probably has a lot more than 2, but 2 of them founded this famous company and they later employed her. So I want to ask, can you name these 2 friends of hers? Now, when we go inside the house, there are lots of clues. Some of them are very, very strong clues, and some of them are a bit confusing or distracting. I'd like you to figure out which of the clues you think were the strongest ones that would help other people. And then finally, we'll come back and we'll talk a little bit more about what Susan does. But my question is, what projects do you think that she may have worked on, and what role she has now? So there's the 5 questions. So now we're going to go and visit the place that we're going to. So here we are. We're on Santa Margarita Avenue in Menlo Park. And the address that we're looking for is number 232. Now, I know we're not going to easily be able to find it because the way the properties are numbered, but this lemon bush from previous times ever, you don't believe me that that's a lemon bush. Okay, just have a look. See, look, lemons, and I think they've even got a basket. Maybe you can buy lemons, who knows. But the address number that we're looking for is 232, and there you can see it on the fence. Now as we look down there, can you see there's some red cars parked at the end of that drive? That's where we're heading next. Now, here we are. We've headed down the drive, and this is number 232. And you remember the lemons that were at the other end of the drive? Very, very nice garden, but it's actually the garage that we need to go and visit. And I don't know if you can see, there's a path here up the side of the garage, and that's where we're headed next. So, here we are up the side of the garage. Now, these are photographs. You wouldn't normally be able to come and visit here yourself, but these photographs help us see inside. So probably not very many clues so far. So we head a little bit closer inside and we just wait. Okay, as our eyes adjust to the darkness. So we're in this garage here. Let's go in a little bit closer and have a look around. Bit of a mess. Lots of piles of things. It would probably be difficult if you were trying to find something, search for something. Probably quite difficult with all those piles. It doesn't look very well organized. Was that a bottle of beer, perhaps? Um, it does look a bit just like a conventional garage. Oh, except there's a computer there on a corner that's open. Okay. Looks like it's an old computer, maybe from the 1990s. Some kitchen roll. Hmm. And then some doors over there. And then there's a bicycle. Let's have a look. Is that a special bicycle? Well, I don't know. It's just kind of yellow, red. Okay. So the next thing we're going to do, because it's not very many strong clues here, we're going to head a little bit further down. Now we're going to look for some more clues that we might see. So I'm seeing there's all these cables running along the floor. That could be power cables. That'd be quite dangerous. It might be Ethernet cables. And it looks like somebody's working from home office. So what do we see? Okay, this makes me feel like we're back in the 1990s in some way. I'm seeing old computers, software. That looks like it's a Microsoft Windows getting started. There's a fax machine over there. Gosh, it's a while since I've seen one of them. What have we got over here? We've got a T-Rex running across the top of the screen. Okay. And then we've got all these bookcases. Probably have to sift through, have to search through quite a lot of things there and paperwork to try and get some stronger clues. And what's this here? Yeah, this definitely makes me feel like we're in the 1990s. We've got things that we don't really use nowadays because, well, technology has replaced these items. What we've got floppy disks. Oh, look, that looks like a Nintendo Game Boy there. So that could be a clue. We've got a so some people call this a Rolodeck. You might be able to see these letters, so you'd probably store people's names and addresses on there. So if you, I don't know, if there was a particular person who was like a builder or an electrician or something like that, you might have already stored their details in there. Right, there's another door here that's open. Let's have a look in. Okay, this feels a bit like somebody's bedroom, although I don't see any beds in it. Right, what we've got in here? More 1990s PCs. It all seems very disorganized. There's like base units on the floor. We could go in a little bit closer and have a look and see what we've got here. A whiteboard. Remember to pay the rent to Susan. Well, remember I did tell you that it was Susan's house, and we've got some other names on there. Larry, Sergey says that they're in. Well, I can't see them. The house looks a little bit empty at the moment, so let's turn around and we go back into the corridor. Okay, and we head a bit further down here. Oh, now that could be a strong clue. Harvard, so Harvard University. So I know that there's a founder of a particular tech company that went to Harvard University. In fact, developed what you might say is one of the world's most famous social media platforms there. So maybe there's a clue. What else have we got? So I'm looking at these desks here, and there's still lots of floppy disks. Let's go a bit further in the room. The ceiling. Can't see any clues on the ceiling as to what it might be. So you know what I think I'm going to do now? I think I need to turn around. So have we visited all of the rooms? Let's have a look. So we went into that room. We went into the garage. Oh, here's a door. We've not been in there yet. Let's have a look. So I suppose I should just do it. Go in. Oh, okay. So, okay, there's a little clue there on the shelf. What was that noise then? I look around and that door was open. That was the one with the Harvard towel. Was that one open before? I don't remember. That one was definitely open. That was the one where there was all the compute. Now this is a bit creepy because those two doors were definitely open before. I wonder if now is a good time to pause and ask you those questions again, see if you've had any more clues. So just repeating the questions again. It was, which tech company does this relate to? So you might already know, don't shout it out, maybe write it down somewhere. Why was this location important in terms of technology and computing? Question number 3. So the building that we're in belongs to Susan Wojcicki. We were asked to name her friends, company founders that later employed her. I asked what objects in the house gave the strongest clues, and then what projects Susan has worked on and what role she has now. So we're going to go back to look at that strange storage room to see if there's any more clues. So this is the last room. What does that say there? Ghost, boost, Luke? I don't know. Oh, right, I think I know what it is. Can you see here? There's something on the floor. Let me just click on that. What's just happened? Okay. Ah, it's a Google lamp. Okay. So now, oh, that's a different bicycle. I'm sure that's not the same bicycle that we saw before in the garage. We can go and have a look. So let's just step out again. Oh, the doors have opened again. And not only have the doors opened, look, there's these little... What? We were in here before. This is different. Those bulbs were definitely not there before. In fact, I don't even remember there being a whiteboard. I know there was that one that has Larry and Sergey as being in, but what's this one here? It says, what if, how long would it take to index the whole world's information? Image search. What is that strange object there? What on earth is it? It looks, could they be cameras? Well, I don't know. Maybe there's more room for further investigation around here. So we've just been in that room with the bicycle. Did we miss it? Oh, there's that room down the corridor. What's going on? Turn round. This is all very, very confusing now. Now the door is closed again. How did that happen? Oh, this is like one of those. Sometimes people call them an egg or an Easter egg in a game. And that when you go to a certain place, like a hidden location, things start to become revealed. So let's go back into the garage. I don't remember those objects being there before. What are they on the table? Let's go in a little bit closer and zoom in. Oh, some kind of technological spectacles or glasses that you could wear on your head. Maybe a computer attached. Oh, so this computer, before we looked at that computer, didn't we, very briefly? This is like some kind of escape room challenge. It says Google on there. Some of these things look like Google Doodles to me. Nag-a-ram. Nag-a-ram. I wonder, could we rearrange the letters Nag-a-ram to Nag-a-ram? It rhymes with something else. What else have we got? Oh, now I remember there was a pile of things over there before. What is this? I don't know. I can barely read the text on this. They should do a better job of these photographs. It looks like some kind of... Oh, it looks like one of those things attached to a weather balloon that you hang up in the sky, and it can maybe, I don't know, take photographs from a distance. Like, if you want to take a photograph of what California looked like from the sky, you could possibly attach one of those to an aircraft or something like that. And what else? Is there anything? What's this? I do not remember that t-shirt hanging up there before. Where's it gone? Oh, I thought it had something written. Oh, there's another one over there. Let's get a bit closer. How did I not see them before? Were they here? Or... Oh, I love Sergey. And look at the text, the colour of how that's spelt. What else have we got? We turn around. Okay, there's the garage. Oh, a hippo. Was that there before? Maybe it was and I just didn't spot it. Lots of cardboard here. I suppose we could make things out of those cardboard boxes if we wanted. Where's that t-shirt gone? Okay, so there's the other t-shirt. I'm really struggling to see what it is written. Well, if one says Sergey, I suppose it's kind of clear what the other one should say. I seem to be just kind of going around in circles here. RY. So it's a person's name. It could be Henry. That ends in RY. And as we pan around, you probably now... Oh, there we are. Larry. I love Larry. So maybe Susan is friends with those people's names that we've just mentioned. Now, talking about Susan, I think it's a good time now for me to give you a little bit more information about Susan Wojcicki. So I think in my rush around, I missed something out as well. Somebody was just saying to me there was something on the door that, here. Okay. That looks like, oh, that'll be a noogler hat. So I don't know if you know what a noogler is. There's a film called The Internship that you might have seen. There's a reference to it there. So apparently, if you are starting as a new Google employee, then new and Google, that you can join those words together and you get Googler. So if you've seen the film, the internship, not the other one, I nearly mentioned the name of that one, then you will recognize what that is. So we are here in Susan Wojcicki's garage. Now this is quite historic. So if you didn't already figure it out, the company Google was founded in 1998, and it was founded by Larry and Sergey. So it's Sergey Brin and Larry Page. Have I said those names right? Or is it Sergey Page and Larry Brin? No, I said it right the first time round. You can probably Google it if you want to go and find out whether that's correct or not. So one of the things, they were starting this new company, they got some investors, and the problem is, I don't know if you know this, but Silicon Valley is one of the most expensive places, not just to live, but even to operate a business. So they needed a space, and they happened to be friends with Susan, and Susan was based at the same university where Sergey and Larry had been studying. And I suppose the fact that they were renting the garage from Susan was kind of handy because it meant that it would help pay her mortgage or paying some rent to Susan at the same time. Now you can come and find this virtual tour yourself. All you just have to know is you have to know the address, which I think I said before was 232 Santa Margarita Avenue, and you can go around. Now, I will tell you, there's still some clues and here, things that I'm still not absolutely clear about myself. Like I was looking at this, trying to figure out what's the difference between the two, and then I spotted that there's an exclamation mark, and then I did a little bit more research and reading, and apparently, for a period of time, Google had an exclamation mark in the logo, and in fact, okay, we're looking at, it looks like a football shirt there with Brin's name on. If you look at the computers, you can actually see what Google looked like back in the 1990s, and look at how the logo looks a bit different. And there's all sorts of little clues as well when you look around, like post-it notes. Like this says here, Burning Man with a question mark. Well, there's a festival called Burning Man, and apparently, well, you can find out a little bit more about that, but the founders, Sergey and Larry, they went to Burning Man specifically to find a particular person who then was the CEO of Google for a period of time. Now, I mentioned Susan. Well, not only did they rent the garage from Susan, but Susan Wojcicki, she actually became an employee of Google. In fact, she was employee number 16. I mean, I don't know how many hundreds or thousands of people they must employ nowadays, but there was probably a point where they could say to people, you are the second employee, the third employee. So Google was founded in September 1998. That's when it was first incorporated. And this garage or this house in Menlo Park that we've been visiting, look, for a period of time, this was the Google worldwide headquarters. Now, I wonder who is the musician. There's probably as well, if you look in, I don't know, you can see very clearly, but there's probably some hidden messages in the music or something. Who knows? There could be all sorts of hidden things. So I know, for example, that they didn't study at Harvard. So I'm wondering, why there's a towel? Is that some kind of message? So Stanford University, the top that I'm wearing, is where they studied. And also, that's where they met Susan. Now, in 2003, so this is 5 years later, Susan helps them with the advertising. She was a product manager. She won awards, the Google Founder Awards. She was their senior vice president of advertising, and some other projects like AdWords. You may have heard of AdSense, DoubleClick, Google Analytics. But one of the things she's most proud of as well is the Google Doodle, and she started Google's video service, and her idea later on was for Google to purchase YouTube. So Susan Wojcicki is now the CEO, so she's the chief executive of YouTube. So there you go. And it just so happens that she has a degree in computer science. One of her things that she's passionate about is getting more people, particularly girls, to study computer science and learn how to code and all. So what do you know? So question number one, if I just go back and find the questions again. So I asked you, number one, I think we all know now which tech company that this relates to. Question number two, I asked why this location was important. Well, for a good while at the start of Google being what it is, that this was the headquarters of Google. I asked you to name both of her friends, so maybe you just got their first names. It's Larry Page and Sergey Brin. I always thought Page is a funny name for somebody who works on the web. Like, what if you had a daughter and he called her Web? I don't know whether that would happen or not. Now, I did ask which objects in the house provide the strongest clues. Did you see the T-Rex running across the top of the screen? Well, there is a T-Rex, a huge one, not real, obviously. There's a statue of one at the Googleplex, which is Google's now newer headquarters. And you probably know that sometimes when the internet goes down, this little T-Rex appears on the screen and you can play games. That's like another Easter egg. There was a few other objects. So there was the bicycle that was painted different colours. You might have seen all these different brightly coloured balls. There were also a few Google logos on things, but I tried not to make them too obvious early on. And there were a few things that were distracting. Did you find out, or did you figure out what that big red object was? It had things that looked like cameras. Well, I didn't know. And what I did was I took a photograph of it and I used Google image search, as it said on the whiteboard, and I found out what it is. And then I asked what projects that Susan has worked on. So I mentioned quite a few. So it was the promotion and advertising around Google, Google AdSense, Google AdWords, the Google Doodle. So you know all those like little things like the Nagaram, but you could say the biggest and most important thing she had was Google's video service, and that was the purchase of YouTube, where she is now CEO. So there we go. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining me on this tour, and hopefully I'll see you on some more tours in the future. So there we are. Bye.